That Kenya is at war is not in doubt. And on the fourth day of the Kenya's offensive against the Al-Shabaab in a bid to secure her borders, we accompany the Kenyan soldiers deep into Somalia, where ground and air operations have handsomely rewarded the operation. Now hovering above a territory you do not understand and above an enemy whose might you cannot estimate is a very dangerous affair. But this is a risk that the Kenyan troops are willing to take in their quest to protect Kenyan territory against foreign aggression. Under very tight security escort of the YY choppers, we hover above the already captured towns of Kokani and Tabda, where Kenyan forces have set a camp.
The operation that we are undertaking currently is intelligence driven, where we identify where the militia group is, move there, route them up, and hand over the area that we have been pacified to transitional federal government forces.
Being a newly captured town, we could not touch ground as Kenyan forces strengthened their control over 150 kilometers into Somalia. The Kenyan army has taken control of at least 4 key Al-Shabaab stronghold towns, starting with Dobli, Kokani, then Tabda, and now targeting Afmado and Indamfo, about 200 kilometers into Somalia before crossing Juba River.
Our resolve, determination and zeal towards this operation remains undeterred. We are ready to protect the Kenyan people and the Republic of Kenya.
The commander in charge of the operation, Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Nyaga, confirmed killing off at least 75 militia as Kenyan troops engaged the militia in gunfire.
The Kenya Defense Forces have not incurred any casualties so far, but for the last 2 battles, especially the one that was fought in Tabda, around 75 Al-Shabaab militia were killed and several equipment captured.
Al-Shabaab fighters are reportedly retreating from the advancing Kenyan Defense Forces. Local residents have hailed the operation, which they say would relieve them from mistreatment by the militia.
Tumefurahia wanajeshi wamekuja kutoka Kenya na wameelekea upande wa Somalia. Na raia wamekubali wakenyaji wengine ndani ya Somalia.
Kendagor, Obadia for the news at 1.
The Kenyan military is now in control of central Somalia and is closing Kismayu, which might fall in a matter of days as the offensive against the Al-Shabaab insurgents enters its 5th day. Speaking to Channel 1 on phone, the military spokesman Major Kipchirchir said the towns along the border, such as Bulawa and Raskamboni, have been secured and are now safe. Chirchir said plans are now underway to begin a major ground offensive that will see the army flush out the militia in their remnant from their hideout. He, however, said the heavy rains being experienced in the region was slowing down progress and that the communities in the affected areas are receptive to the Kenya military mission.
Heavy bombardment characterized today's offensive by the Kenyan forces as they advanced towards the port of Kismayu, which is believed to be the last Al-Shabaab stronghold. The offensive by the Kenyan forces has yielded much results, with the forces capturing and securing key towns of Bulahawa and Ras Kamboni. The Al-Shabaab militia are said to have retreated to Kismayu and the smaller towns of Lower Juba and shores of Somali coastline, fleeing the wrath of the joint forces comprising of the Kenyan forces and the transitional federal government forces of Somalia. The Kenya military spokesman, Major Emmanuel Chirchir, says the now frustrated Al-Shabaab militia is forcibly recruiting civilians into their ranks in fear of being overpowered both by numbers and firepower. According to Chirchir, the Kenya army is now in control of 3 other towns in central Somalia and is closing on Kismayu, which might fall any time from now. Security in the country has also been heightened, with people attending public functions subjected to scrutiny. This comes barely a day after Defense Assistant Minister Orwa Ojode told Parliament that a major operation will be mounted in Isili and other towns in the country to flush out remnants of the Al-Shabaab and their sympathizers. Kendagor, Obadia for the news at 9.